Hi there. Most of you have asked me to send you a recording about the depression talk that I did last week on Let's Talk Trauma. So I didn't record it because people do share their personal issues and matters, and I keep that private, so I don't share the recordings. However, I thought I'll share this small video summarizing the 3 types of depressions that we talked about, and a simple practice that you can do even for 10 minutes a day. If you can practice that, that will help you. So what is depression? So depression is a state of helplessness, hopelessness. So what happens with depression is you're expecting something, and then you try, you give everything, your best for that. And then comes the first thing that comes before depression is anxiety, because you want it to happen in a certain way. However, when you finally hit that block or hit that brick wall and you think that nothing can change it, the person you hoped would change your life, that didn't happen, or the career you wanted and that didn't happen. So the helplessness is a state of depression where your mind almost goes into anxiety, shock, and then gives up hope. And that is a state of depression. And how you would be manifesting this in your life is where there's a lack of interest. And sometimes you may want to be sleeping a lot, or you may want to do nothing, or there is an amount of criticism about people who are active or who are busy. That is how you will identify you're separating yourself from activity and busyness because of your depression. And you can take, if it is really required, you can go on to medication, but there are many ways by which you can avoid getting onto the medication and you can come out of depression. So the 3 types of depressions that people usually experience, one is a generational or ancestral depression, which is what you carry right from your birth in your DNA, and you don't know why you are sad right from your childhood, or you don't know why you are depressed, but that is something you carry right from the birth, and that can be a generational or ancestral depression. And there is this natural lack of hopelessness. The second one is where the depression that you experience during this lifetime with certain experiences, like say when you were continuously suppressed and you thought this would change your life, and suddenly your mind goes into a shock that didn't happen. And that's a state of depression. Or a sense of purpose that is over, like even postnatal depression is because of that, of this kind of situations. That is when you believe that this is your whole purpose of life, giving birth to a child, or getting the job, or finishing that project is your whole purpose. And once that purpose is over, the mind goes into a shock that what is it for me? What's the meaning? What is the purpose? It can be midlife crisis. That is also a point of depression because you're stuck and don't know what to do. And that can continue for quite a period if you're not aware of it, or if you're not understanding a shift in identity has happened and you're not realizing it. That is the depression you will experience due to the transitions in life. Then the third depression is, I call it a spiritual depression. That is, you're done with your transitions and then you're into the spirituality, and then you will suddenly realize that what's the real meaning, or what's the real purpose of life? I always thought I'm on this planet for some reason, for some purpose, but that does not seem to be like it. And there is a sense of depression, and there's a sense of boredom about life and the life itself, and holding on to this life. There's a sense of boredom, and it almost looks like it's suicidal, but it is not. It is just, again, another lack of purpose or meaning in your spiritual journey, and thinking that you don't belong anymore, nothing matters. But that is something that happens in the spiritual journey. And then eventually you will realize this is it. And this moment is what matters. But till that point of time, we are continuously programmed to build a life of longevity and long-term commitments. So never we can think that there is really, it hits you hard, that really life is moment to moment. And that is something that you do not want to accept, or you are not ready to accept. So this is what happens in spiritual depression. At any of these stages, what is important is to understand that it is moment to moment, and there is hope after all this, and there is life after this transit. So whenever there is a shift in your identity, either in your lifetime experiences, from being a mother to an empty nest, from being a single woman to become a mother, or being a wife and losing a partner, or being a husband and losing a lifetime companion. So any of these transits can lead you to depression. And the spiritual depression is where you crossed all those life's transitions, and then you're on to spiritual journey, and then it hits you hard that what is really life about? Is it worth it? That's a spiritual depression. So, but you have to understand that for every low, there is a high. And whenever you feel hopeless, that means there is a hope and there is light after that. And one simple tool. So I talk about 5 elements. So depression is a state where you are too grounded and too heavy, and you are too sedentary or morbid. So the one simple tool that you can do if you are experiencing depression is to just keep your thumb and your index finger together, allow the tips to gently touch each other, back of the palms on your thighs, and just sit at least for 10 minutes, breathing into your heart. That's all you have to do. So close your eyes, keep your thumb and your index finger tips touching together, other 3 fingers straight, back of the palms on your thighs, and just breathe into your heart for at least 12 counts, and breathe into your stomach for 12 counts every day. A simple practice. All right. And the next thing, if you are on medication for longer periods of time, please do know that help is available. And if you want to talk to me, please do reach out, and there is help available, and you can get off medication if you can do some simple procedures. Thank you.